Wait, hold on. Let me get
Oh,
my
ew, what the fuck?
let me get my drink, and then I'll start off with, like, from the very beginning.
Badass.
Let me give some context first. So the supervisors, my supervisors, are Nika and Christian. Okay. The CEO is Paul. Okay. Let me write it down on for like the visual learning. You know. Okay. So I'll start from the fucking beginning. So for the fucking beginning, right? All the staff, like, we clocked out of work and we were all like, oh, we're all gonna take different paths. Let me explain the Uber situation. So they told me it was 8 people. I didn't mind going by train. I really didn't mind. But I was like, oh, 8 people Uber, like, I don't mind. I'll split with you guys. And the reason they wanted to Uber, right, and split it was because they wanted an excuse to not go on the train with this girl named Joey. So Joey is a new staff. She's a new hire. What's weird about Joey? Remember these names, by the way. So what's fucking weird about Joey is that she touches people. Okay, she's a 16-year-old girl. She's 16, she's new staff. And the people she worked with was Sonia and Jenny. And Sonia and Jenny don't really like her because Sonia and Jenny are older, by the way. Okay, they're like 18 and like 20. Imagine you work with them, right? And this 16-year-old keeps coming over to you and starts touching you. You know, she's not a kid. She's a worker. She's an assistant worker. She would like go over to Sonia and start like randomly combing her hair, touching her hair. They're not close, by the way. And then she would go to Jenny. Jenny wears like a baseball cap, and she would like flick Jenny's hair up and start like touching her hair too. She'll like grab Sonia's arm. Sonia would move away, and she'll like continue holding onto the arm. Sonia goes somewhere, keeps touching. You know, like, does everything to touch her. By the way, really weird. So they're really uncomfortable with it. By the way, you might think, oh, she's like touchy towards girls. No, even if you're not thinking that, something did happen at the dinner, and she did touch a guy. So I'm just saying that ahead of time. I personally don't have beef with this Joey girl. Actually, no, I do. I have like 2 experiences. If you know, I came late. I came at like the last 2 weeks of work. And this Joey girl, I was in the hallway. I was just walking, right? And we were crossing paths. And she literally walked in front of me and was like, move. And I was like, okay. Like, that was my first interaction with her. So I'm like, who the fuck hurt you? Second interaction, I had this really bad kid in my class. Really, really bad kid. I was yelling at him, right? Outside. This girl fucking opens, she was leaving the staff bathroom. She opens the staff bathroom, sees me yelling. And she goes like, sheesh. I was even yelling at you. What the fuck? Who hurt you? Literally, who the fuck hurt you? And by the way, my entire branch knows that my class is the worst class. Like, we all know my is the most I'm not even, that's a whole separate can of worms I'm not gonna get into. But we are the worst class. So everyone knows, like, we yell. We know my kids are bad. So it's like, what the fuck do you mean sheesh? Like, I'm not the one that yells in my class. But anyways, that's why they took the Uber. Because they wanted an excuse to not go with Joey. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm just gonna name a bunch of names, but so Sonia was venting about how fucking weird Joey is. Like, I don't fucking like this girl. She keeps touching me. Other staff didn't really believe it. And so Vanessa and Shirley are like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the whole day. I'm gonna watch the whole day to see if she starts, you know, being weird. And the whole day they see like, it was just so random. Like, Sonia walk away and Joey randomly follows her like literally like a dog and starts like touching her all over her body, like her arm, her head, her neck. And then like it got to a point where like Shirley and Vanessa they were like, oh Sonia, come here, Sonia, come here, Sonia, come here, come here, to save her, right? And so Sonia would go over, and as she goes over, this Joey girl follows her but keeps touching her while they're walking. Like, that shit's weird. Oh, also, before we went to that fucking party, we all had to do a COVID test. And I was like, what the fuck? Why am I doing a fucking COVID test? By the way, I didn't even do that COVID test. I just like fucking dropped the dropper water on it without even like putting it in my nose.
Do that. That's illegal.
Bro, I was praying to get COVID. I was literally asking all stuff. I was like, do you have COVID? Do you have COVID? Can I drink out of your water? Do you have COVID? Do you have COVID? I kept saying, please give me COVID. Please, I want COVID. Please, I don't want to go to this dinner. Please, I'm begging. And then like I was like, because some staff didn't want to do it too, and so I was like giving my COVID tester to them so they could show it. And also, like, I'm not gonna lie, the COVID test is not that deep. You open the box, there's only the dropper, a swab, and the test, right? There's 3 items. Why the fuck do I see everyone in the fucking like site opening these tutorial papers to see how to do it? It's not that hard. You get a swab, stick it in your nose, and then put it in the dropper. Have you never done a COVID test before? I saw everyone just cramped in the room. I fucking left the room and did it somewhere else. I was like, and I didn't even do it. I just put the dropper in. I was like, why the fuck is everyone taking this so seriously? Because I saw everyone holding their wide ass papers. Because you know those little boxes have like big ass papers that you open like 15 times and it become a giant square, a map. And I'm like, are y'all stupid or stupid? Like, it's not that deep on how to use a COVID test. I digress. I didn't even get to the party yet. I decided to go. So there wasn't enough slots in the Uber. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll just go take the car. So I was walking with these other coworkers. By the way, they took like a giga Uber. Like, all of our prices was still the same at the end of the day. And so I was walking with 2 other coworkers. So I was walking with Noor and Zenara. I don't know Zenara that well, but Noor's the go. I was literally with Noor like basically the entire day. And we were like, let's just fucking take an Uber because we saw the price was $8 and we just split it. And we're like, okay, $8. Like, let's just fucking split it. We took the Uber. We get there. So the 2 Ubers, right? There's 6 people in Uber, and I'm in the other one that has 3. So there's like 9 of us, and all the other staff did not show up yet. So it was just 9 of us there, and we were mad fucking early. We were the first ones fucking there, by the way. And we were like, okay, we're not gonna go in. So the 6 people decided to take a lap around the park, and then I was like to the other 2 people, I was like, oh, let's go to Tesso. So we went to Tesso, and we came back. When we came back, holy shit, the whole place was fucking filled. By the way, let me just say the dress code of this. There's like work t-shirts, right? Work t-shirts. Everybody wore a fucking blue t-shirt, like blue work t-shirt, right? But our site, we didn't have like mandatory t-shirt day. So let me preface very, very clearly, very obvious, you can't even fucking hide it, that they were harassing my site purposely. Let me give you the context. My site was seated in the fucking corner of the restaurant, all right? Like if I were to draw it out, the restaurant, like entrance would be E. So my site got seated in the fucking corner, and then every other site, there were probably like 4 or 5 sites, right? And every other site had the blue t-shirt on with the work company logo, and my site just did not have the fucking t-shirts. Some people from my workplace did have it, but because we have different colors and different days represent different colors, the people who did wear it had pink. So even if we did wear our t-shirts, we would have still been a different color from everyone else. It is very clear that my site was like, we weren't given the information, right? By the way, I'm pretty sure one of our supervisors is like a double agent of sorts, and it's Christian. Like he's low-key a fucking double agent. Like he was one of them that was low-key harassing us, right? I felt like we were getting harassed because 1, we got seated in the corner. 2, we did not have the work shirts. Like we were not told to have the work shirts. Okay, we did kind of get soft warned to wear the t-shirts. We did kind of, but it was really soft warned. He just said bring it just in case if the other sites are wearing the t-shirts, but he did not reiterate and he did not remind us. And as I said, even if we did wear the t-shirts, we would have been wearing pink, and everyone was wearing blue. So one of the first things that happened at the party that I didn't want to say party, I'm gonna call it a fucking like dinner. If you remember the guy I hate at work, Z, right? I'm prefacing. So Aiden was like, he said in the I don't know why the fuck you were saying it's a group chat, like that shit is so mean, but he said, let me see if I can pull up that fucking image, okay? He said Christian is so ugly, holy fuck. And by the way, mind you, Christian is our fucking supervisor, right? And we were like, yo, why the fuck he said Christian ugly as fuck, right? And then he deleted the message, right? But the Z guy, right, fucking took a screenshot of it, right? That's how that's half the picture. He took a screenshot of it and sent it into the group chat. Why would he say that? I don't know why he said that. But it's the fact that like this Z guy, by the way, this Z guy wasn't even at the dinner. Like he dipped for someone who sucks dick, you know, sucks the supervisor's dick. He took a screenshot of that shit like immediately and then like sent it into the group chat. So he was snitching on Aiden for like no fucking god knows reason. Like little who the fuck hurt your ass, you know what I mean? And then we were all like laughing our ass off, but we also were like all like, oh yo, fuck this kid. Like why the fuck he did that? Like that shit was like, so oh, I didn't even say how we sat, right? So my site had 2 tables, right? If you see my image, right, we have the upper table and the lower table, right? And so originally I sat at the lower table, right? Because all of my friends, all my coworkers sat at the upper table, right, of the 2, and I sat at the lower table where all the guys and all the people I don't really know, I don't really hang out with, and Joey girl, right? Because I went to Tesso, even though we were the first one to arrive, we went to Tesso. Let me tell you like how the seating was, right? Like me, I sat over here, right, and then random person, and then Nor is the person I was with, and then random person, and then Zanara is the other person. So the people I came in with, we were all separated anyways, right? So it was so funny, was like I felt so bad because luckily it was the goat. I'm gonna say at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself before I can take care of other people, okay? I'm just gonna say that because all of like my coworkers, all my like I guess my friends there were all like telling me to sit with them. So me and Nor squished into their table. The table was supposed to have like 10 people each, right? But then me and Nor got moved and we were 12 people on one table, and the other table had like the other table had like 8 people, and it was so awkward because like I was the only guy at that table, by the way. I'm just gonna say, like, this was the table, like it was all girls all around, and I was just the only guy, and that's like a low-key felt awkward. But it was like I'm not friends with like any of the dudes really, to be honest, because the dudes that I were friends with like fucking all got fired. And also like one of the dudes at work typically is like friends with the entire group, and I'm not really friends with that entire group of dudes. Like what I'm trying to say is all the dudes are connected, right? So if I'm friends with one, I'm basically friends with them all. Let me just say, me and Nor felt so bad because we left Zanara at that table. So me and Nor got moved and squished with all the people, you know, that we like and stuff, but Zanara got left alone at that table, and she was so awkward. But Zenara was so fucking funny because she was DMing Noor, right? Because Zenara sat next to Joey, and remember what I said about the Joey girl? Weird ass bitch. No, let me say this first. So when Noor was originally at the table, Noor was next to Joey. At first, Noor was next to Joey. And I was like, so when me and Noor got moved, I was like, oh, okay. And Noor was like, you know, fucking Joey was like showing me photos of her cat, like for no reason. I was like, okay. It sounds like innocent, right? But then like later, Zenara was like DMing Noor like, oh my fucking god, this girl's showing me pictures of her cat. And I was like, yo, was she not doing the same exact thing to you? And she's like, yes. Why is she showing a picture of her cat? Like, it's so weird. I guess she was trying really hard to start a conversation.
What's wrong with that?
Cause she's fucking weird. She touches people.
That's normal.
Cause she touches people. It's not normal if you don't.
This is the toucher.
Yeah, this is
right.
the molester. And so, so we're talking about the toucher. So this is the second major thing that happened with Joey, right? Personally, I'll admit, I actually felt bad for her. If we look at it from a bigger picture, she's a 16-year-old girl. It's her first time working. It's most likely her first job too. And she has to go to this dinner because she probably is like too pussy to call off on it. And it's like, no one likes you. To be fair, like, yes, she'd be touching everyone, but also it's like, she's 16, you know? Like, if my biggest gripe was like, if you had an issue, tell her in the moment she does it. Like, in the very moment she touches you, tell her, oh, can you not touch me? I'm not comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't think that's hard. And so at one point, right, she went over to one of the guys. By the way, Leo has a girlfriend. He went over to Leo and just starts like molesting him, like touching him, right, his arm and stuff. And he tweaks the fuck out. Like, he tweaks the fuck out really bad. This is where I felt bad for her because the guys all made a group chat in that moment and started shit talking her, and they're all laughing out loud. And then one of the guys was like, holy shit, this table mad fucking funny. And then like they were saying, yo, look at your phone, look at your phone, look at your phone, right? By the way, that table was all in the same friend group except 3 people. Joey, Josiah, and this guy named Kevin is completely chill. I felt bad for Kevin. I genuinely felt so bad for Kevin. He's the one normal person there. Like, actually, but he had no friends. And I tried to talk to Kevin, but Kevin's like very like lone wolf. Like, he's just like by himself. Like, you know what I mean? Joey is the molester. Josiah is Josiah just has no friends. He's like he's doing too much. I'll tell you why he does doing too much. You can assume why he has no friends. I was like, let me tell you about Josiah. He pissed me off because at the start of it, I was like saying, oh, I feel bad about Josiah because he doesn't have any friends. He's been working here for so long. By the end of it, fuck you. This is why you have no friends. But I digress again. So the guys were all like talking shit about her, and then one of the girls, Shirley, is like, she got that connection, right? Because her boyfriend is one of the guys. Like, Shirley's the ghost. Shirley knows everything. She tells us everything, right? And Shirley was telling our table, but our table's really close to each other, so we hear everything anyways. But Shirley was like telling us about it, and then like, because all the girls at my table also don't like Joey too, because Joey be touchy with them too. And at my table, shit talking Joey, but we did have a group chat. We were verbally saying it. So I'm like, she's probably not stupid, right? Like, I mean, she probably knows what's happening. And that's why I felt bad. I was like, if y'all having issues, like, just tell her up straight. You know what I mean? Like, when she touches you, tell her. You know what I mean? Because I just felt like, I felt bad because it's like flat out like hardcore bullying. And then Leo dead ass got up, moved his seat away, and then because he moved away from Joey was near another guy, so he literally said to Joey, like, Joey, is it okay if I like move your seat away from us? Like, that shit was actually fucking rude. I mean, it's valid, to be honest, it is valid, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Somebody just needs to like tell her. Somebody needs to tell her you can't touch people.
Exactly. So that's enough about the Joey girl, right? Okay, I don't want to hear that I would have left. I know, but like, I got the tea, so whatever. And so I'm just gonna say, for context, we have a coworker named Juno, and I feel so bad because Juno's 16, right? And I feel bad because
Overwatch.
He's a dude.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because the entire time, every time I kept thinking about Juno, I was like, holy shit, he's a fucking twink. I was like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking. I was like talking to someone, and I had several people tell me he's like bottom, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? You know, like, you know what I was told? You know, like, the guys take turns lifting him up.
What? That's kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why are you letting people lift you up? Like I don't mean lift you up like weight training, like lifting, more like lifting him up in the sky, like when you lift a kid up by the armpit area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like, why are you letting? Why? I don't get it. I digress. Yeah. And so then we were told that we had to perform, right? So like, every site had to perform a song. It was so ass, by the way. It was like ass because like the way it was set up was no one knew how it was gonna happen and what was happening. We were just told, pick 2 songs you're gonna perform. TLDR, we picked, by the way, we only performed 1 song. We picked, it was Touch. You know the song that was like touch, na 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 na. Yeah, I didn't know that song. I didn't know the lyrics. We were picked to go up first to perform. This is another thing about why I think my set was getting bullied. We got put into corner, the t-shirt thing, and we were first to go up to perform, right? At this point, you can say it's unlucky, but there's more stuff later. So we got picked up first. So we don't have an example of what to do. They don't really tell us what to do. They just like go up. And so I get up, right? And everyone was just like crowd, because everyone, no one wants to, no, you know, we're all scared, you know, no one wants to do that shit. And everyone's just like crowding in the back. And they're like, oh, stand behind Alvin, stand behind. I had a shirt that said I took a good poop today. And I was in the front, by the way.
Ew. What the fuck?
It's my favorite shirt. It's my favorite shirt. But I didn't know we were performing. So, but then like I got moved to the side, and then my supervisor were blocking me, so I wasn't even seen. Like, and the most awkward part is like we were all called to perform, right? But they had 2 mics that were really ass. It was like screeching bad ass, right? It was like such bad audio quality, and there was only 2 people. So why the fuck are you bringing the entire fucking site to go up? But then like only 2 people's voices can really be heard. And by the way, my site did the worst performing because we were the first ones to go up. And that's why I think we were like fucking harassed too, because other groups, other sites got to see how it went. And by the way, like, okay, I'll admit, I think our site is bad because like we were all pussies and like not wanting to go up, and everyone kind of went up normally, but they were probably warned ahead of time and shit like that, right? And we took so long to start singing because everyone was just pussies, right? Which I don't think that's, I think that's normal. I think that's genuinely normal. Like, let me see if I can play one of the videos. This is our group. You came in here shit.
Never fucking recording is so funny.
But I didn't sing, I just lip synced. Like, I was just mouthing my words. But I was like behind my supervisor, so I can't even be seen anyways. Like, I was willing to stand in front, but then like someone pulled me to the back, so I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I low-key threw some shade too, I'm not gonna lie, because I was not having it. I progressively got more and more pissed as we kept going. Like, as we kept going, I got so annoyed. Like, I was able to put like a fake happy like face up, but I was so mad. And low-key, like, my table was Goat, because it was kind of funny. I literally, you know what I did to start conversation at our table? I was like, okay, since it's my, because I don't plan to come back, or maybe I might consider working 1 day a week. I might actually, but I'll see. But I literally said to my table like, okay guys, let's start a conversation. Let's go all go in a circle and talk about how Z has wronged all of us. And then I was like, I'll go first. And then yo, Shirley, as I said, Shirley's a fucking goat. She got so heated when we started shit talking Z. She went, she called him the what's her name? She called him Bonnie Blue or something. What's her name? Oh my god. Oh, Bonnie Blue. Yeah, that's her name. And if you don't know who Bonnie Blue is, there's this lady who like fucked up, like, I think, was it 1,000 men in under 24 hours? Is that what it is?
Oh, I know that one. I know that.
Like, she had it like on record. She had it on recording where like every member was like 40 seconds or something. And I was fucking dead. I was actually gonna fucking cry. I was gonna pee myself. It was so bad. We all went in a circle telling our truth about Z. You know what I literally said out loud? I was like, if you don't like Z, raise your hand. And then like everybody basically rose their fucking hand up. I'm just gonna say really quickly. So Zanara, the girl we left behind at the other table, I respect her so much for this. I genuinely respect her so much for this. She's also 16, I believe. But she flat out just got up and just left. And why are you saying I did?
Home?
Yes, left and went home. She left really early on. And why did, okay, I'm gonna say really quickly, why did I not go home, right? But honestly, my biggest excuse is like, I got tea to share with y'all. That's my biggest excuse. But genuinely, I didn't leave because I think I cared too much about people, because I knew for a fact if one person from my table left, I knew if I left early, then everyone else at my table would have left. It would have trickled down, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of weird to say this, I don't mean this in like a negative, but I generally felt like everyone there was my friend. And so if I left, then everyone else, since someone else would have left.
Oh,
and
you
then,
were the glue that sat everyone
no,
together.
I'm not saying I'm not saying the glue, but I'm saying like if anyone in that table left, and I just think everyone else. Okay, I think I was the only one that had the balls to leave early, but I wasn't willing to, and I didn't leave because I felt bad for Nika. I did not give a shit about Christian. Fuck Christian. But I felt bad for Nika because Nika's actually a goat of a supervisor. She's been really nice and she's a great person. And I know as a supervisor, she will get her ass handed to her. And spoiler, at the very end, we did, like someone did leave and the whole table was trickling. And everyone on my table left except me. I was the only one left on my table, but it doesn't sound as sad. It really does sound as sad as it is. I'll explain later on, but everyone on my table left and Nika starts stressing. I heard her like quivering in her voice and she was like telling me like, oh, like, and the other people there, like, at least take some of the foods, because if our CEO sees that there's leftover food, he's gonna get pissed because he's paying for the dinner and stuff like that. It's wasteful, and our site is already getting, as I said, our site is already getting bullied. All right, because I can tell they do not like our site. It's very, very fucking obvious. I told Nika like, oh, like I'm sorry, like what everyone had to. Cause by the way, like 5 minutes later after everyone left, like the dinner concluded. In that moment, I fucking like bolted. I didn't even run through the front door. I went to the back exit door next to the bathroom and I bolted. And I caught up to like the people who left earlier, and I went home with them. And that's why I'm saying it's not as sad as it sounds. But I told her like yeah, I was like, I'm sorry I had to go through that, but like I told her like everyone probably felt the same way about how they didn't want you to like get hurt, but like at the end of the day, like we have to take care of ourselves before we have to take care of other people, right? Because everyone else.
What do you mean get hurt?
Because Paul's gonna yell at her and scream at her. Like you're saying even if you feel like he will. Like there's a reason why she was so scared when we all left.
I feel like leaving early is kind of rude though. Like if he's paying for it, everyone just leaves.
Yeah, but we were pissed. We were all really pissed. Like we were really, really mad. We expected the dinner to end at 9. It did not end until 11.
What the fuck?
Cause it dragged out for that long. They were doing a bunch of games and shit. It dragged out really, really long. So everyone was really pissed and really, really mad. And the food was shit. That's why like at the very end, like I just jolted and I ran. I was like, fuck this shit. I took all the food on the table and left it empty because I knew I didn't want Nika to get in trouble. But I threw that shit in the garbage after when I got out.
Always get the leftovers and bring it home to eat. We had shit.
Yeah, it was shit food. Why'd I go? Because I was like, oh, it's like one of my last times being here, and some of my other coworkers were going, so I was like, and they were also begging me to go, so I was like, sure, I'll do it, right? I'll do it. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I knew I was gonna have content to talk, but I knew I was like, I can fucking like share this shit with everyone. Continuing on, the schedule was we had performance, then round 1 dinner. And after round 1 dinner, we had trivia. By the way, all these were like points that built up, and then like at the end, like the site gets a prize. It was like some doo-doo ass part. I could see it. Like, I knew it was doo-doo. I digress. And then we had raffle at the very end, right? We were supposed to have a second performance, but we never did that because I think it was like we were running out of time. Where was I at? Trivia comes. The trivia is the stupidest fucking shit ever. It was not trivia. It was like, who lives in the pineapple under the sea? And someone said SpongeBob SquarePants, and he was like, wrong. I was literally trying to raise my. I was like, is the answer who? Because who lives in the pineapple under the sea, right? Apparently, the answer was SpongeBob, not SpongeBob SquarePants. You get what kind of bullshit this trivia is? It was like, what is the name of the planet we live on? It's not Earth. And the answer was I was ChatGPTing all these answers, by the way. Let me just say, I had almost all the answers correct, but let me tell you why. This is another reason towards my 13 reasons why my site was getting harassed. The way the trivia worked was whoever raises their hand first. And we know how bullshit that is, right? Because if you're a supervisor and you're the one up there, you're most likely gonna look at your site. As I said, my site was also placed in the very corner. And if you see where the stage was, my site basically had no FOV. By the way, like this table over here that I'm coloring is the supervisor table. So this is not even a site. This is like where all the supervisors sit. So that table is where all the supervisors sit anyways. So that's not even an actual site, right? And this is why I say fuck Christian, because one of the guys up there speaking was Christian. And Nika was the GOAT. I saw she kept pointing at our table. She was trying so hard to let us speak first. And then like we just never got picked on. And it went from my whole like our site actually trying at the beginning of trivia to we realized what was going on and we all just gave up. Obviously we're gonna fucking give up if you don't pick on us, right? Like we just literally gave up at some point. And with the bullshit fucking questions like that were easy as shit anyways, that like. And also, I knew another site fucking ChatGPT'd because one of the questions was like, how many planets are in our solar system and bonus point if you can name them? And then I ChatGPT'd it and she said in the same exact order as ChatGPT. And it was not like closest or densest. It was just like Mercury, Neptune, Earth, Jupiter, Mars. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, this fucking bitch also ChatGPT because I knew like it was in the same exact order that she said it. And so this is where I was talking about Josiah having no friends. Josiah was the only one who consistently was raising his hand. Like we got like a few points at the end, and because they chose on Josiah, but Josiah was real. Oh my god, I got so pissed at him because like this guy was screaming and yelling. Right, he was right behind me, by the way. He sat right behind me and he was screaming, yelling, trying so hard. He was like, yo, that's not fair. They raised their hand at 1. You said 3, 2, 1, go. Why are you not raising your hand? He was screaming. He was like really loud, and it was right behind me. I was getting so pissed. I was like, can you shut the fuck up? You know what I mean? Like, because I was already in a bad mood, right? And then I was like, you're doing too much. You're actually doing too much over a trivia fucking game. And then like one of the questions like, oh, what's the name of the planet we live on? The answer was Terra, right? And he was like, it's not Earth. He's like Gaia. And then like they were like wrong, and he was like, what? How's it not Gaia? Oh my god. And then the Joey girl, even she got mad at him because every time they asked a question, he was asking for clarification. He was asking for, oh, are you guys expecting this kind of answer? You know what I mean? Like that kid, you know what I mean? Like that person who does that shit. Yeah.
Pick me.
And then Joey was literally like, just answer the question. Just answer the question. And so TLDR, we had 2 sessions of trivia. And so that first session, Christian literally said this. He was like, by the way, Christian is supposed to be a supervisor on my side. He literally said, I'm kind of disappointed in you 206. You guys aren't winning. Into the mic. And that's another reason why I think we were fucking targeted. Why the fuck would you say that when you're the one that's not picking on us to answer? Like, hello? There would be like really, really easy questions like, oh, where do fishes live? Some bitch said the ocean. No, the fuck, it's water. Anyways, why would you go out of your way to say I'm disappointing you guys for not having more points if like you're the one that's picking on the people to raise their hand and 90% of the times? Like, of course we're gonna give up trying if like you don't pick on us. Like my table completely gave up, by the way. So we only had one table that was raising our hand. It was the one at the dead corner with Josiah, and he's the only one that was like kind of trying. This is where it got kind of awkward, right? It was so funny. And no, it was during trivia. It was during the first trivia, not even second dinner. It was so fucking funny. So like, as I said, I was the only dude at my table. All the girls all got up at the same time, went to the bathroom, and I was the only guy at my table. And that's why I took a picture on Instagram, right, posting saying like, yo, these fake ass bitches. But it was because the girls figured out there was a back door right next to the bathroom, and Shirley came back for me, right? Shirley was like, yo, we're going outside to the back to have a walk. And so I went to the back, and I was like, but it was one of those doors where it was like you can go out but you can't get in. I mean, it locks on the outside. I told them like, oh, you guys can go outside. Like I'll hold the fort down at the table, like, and then like I'll just open the door. Like, what do you guys text me? I'll open the door for you guys. So I went back to sit on the table by myself. But then I think all the girls either they were scared or they felt guilty or whatever it was, but they all came back at the same time, and it was just like, yo, that shit is so awkward, you know? Like, see, luckily we were at the corner, so it's like if you saw, you saw. If you didn't see, you didn't see, right? As I said, our site was low-key just getting flat out harassed.
Why is there like a vendetta against your site?
I think it's because like we're the most like mismanaged site. In the time I've been here for 2 years, we went through like 14 supervisors. I mean, like we're the most mismanaged site. We're the most underappreciated. You know, like there always has to be a duff everywhere, right? And I guess our site
appreciated, or you guys just suck.
I want to say we suck, but at the same time, it's also like we don't have like good supervisors that like really put their foot down, I guess. Nika was actually great. I think Nika is genuinely great, but I think Christian's like a double agent, as I said. Like he acts like he is our site supervisor, but like he does not like our site. Like he shit talks us, you know what I mean? Like, and so second dinner comes, whatever, and then we have a second trivia, which is literally just the supervisors doing fucking it's the same thing. It's like same thing on loop where they did. But this time it's like inside trivia, like they were acting out like celebrities or acting out certain things, and then like, you know, our side didn't get picked again, and then we get limbo. Yo, this is where I felt bad about that. I felt low-key bad about yo, when limbo came, I felt so bad. Oh my god, because she pissed everyone off already. So then both tables collectively like, Joey, pick Joey, and we said 3 representatives, so Joey got Hayes into going, and then
so
and then the other we actually had someone named Aiden. We picked someone named Aiden to go, but then the Josiah guy voluntarily went up. So by the way, for context, Josiah's a fat chunky man doing limbo. I was actually saying like, I was saying out loud, yo, can we have Josiah go? Okay, Josiah go. Not because I want a fat guy to do limbo, it's because that guy was fucking screaming and my ear was getting pissed. I needed him out. He was screaming so loud at one point I had to go into the bathroom and crouch down to just spam text my table and shit talk him because I was getting so annoyed. I was like, yo, I'm actually getting really pissed because I'm already like not in the best mood because like I'm kind of tired, but this guy's also screaming behind me and I need him to shut the flying fuck up. Like, if you had POV of me, you would see my eyes. I was side-eyeing every time he screamed behind me. Like, and when he screamed, I just closed my eyes like, why? Oh yeah, so our third representative was a guy named Juno. Juno was like the guy that I told who lets the other guys pick him up and lift him up, like the designated bottom twink. But then as you do limbo, the guys keep saying, yo, Juno's so zesty, like Juno's so cute. And I was like, what the fuck?
The guys?
Yeah, the guys. And so when Juno, let me see if I can find like, if I find an Insta thing of it, right? Because Juno's like the shortest guy, by the way. And so every time he like did the limbo, if you think of like anime hair flips, like let's say like an anime guy goes into the water and they lift their head out of the water and they like flick their head really high up and like all the water sprays. That's what he kept doing every single time he did limbo. Like, I don't know.
Trying to be cool.
Yo, that's the Joey girl who fell. Oh my god. That Joey fell down. Like, they sent Joey because they want to get rid of her from the table, but she fell on the first limbo. Yeah, she fell. Josiah's a big chunky guy. And surprisingly, he lasted very long. I was like, no fucking way. How's Josiah doing this? Like, you know what's crazy? Nora was like, yo, why he kind of eating? Why he kind of eating? And I was like, he always eating with that build.
You're so mean.
I admit, I mean, I have not fucking been nice.
Oh my god.
This guy in the black shirt is Juno. Like, yo, like, Juno, like, ooh, like he doing like giga hair flips every time he went down. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds really mean, but the whole time I was recording, I purely just wanted Josiah. Yo, I was hovering over Josiah like at this video because I was like, I don't care about everyone else. I just wanted Josiah himself going. I feel like there's one audio where I would be like, how the fuck is he doing this? What the fuck? This was my one source of entertainment, by the way. Like, this was literally my one source of entertainment, and like afterward, like I was pissed the entire time, but this is the one thing that made me kind of happy. I'm just gonna say every time Josiah went through, I got more and more impressed. I'm just gonna be so real. I got more and more impressed every time Josiah went down. No, he is like going way lower than he needs to. Yo, every time I feel so bad. Every time I see Josiah, like, I think y'all can already see his build, and I'm just like, yo, like, there's no way he can go any lower, right? Like the way he walks is like, no, there's no way, there's no way.
Damn, okay, you're limited.
So mean.
No more
Okay,
bullying
ZZ, try
allowed.
sitting next to him and having him scream at your fucking ear until you fucking get like ear raped. All right, then you tell me that I'm mean, okay? Then you
Wait,
can
he's
tell.
16.
Oh no,
I'm assuming?
Josiah's like the oldest fucking staff. Like, he's old. He's like one.
He's like 27.
I don't know. I actually have no clue. But he's definitely old, and he has.
He's doing too much. He's fucking like what?
Yeah, and he has a daytime job. He has a daytime job as a teacher, and then works here as a teacher after school. And he takes his job way too fucking seriously. And so he sent hentai into the group chat once.
What the fuck?
But that was like before my time, before I worked there. I think after the limbo we did raffles. I'm gonna reiterate the prize for raffles. We got wooden back scratcher, okay, and there was like a cloth to clean your car and Post-its, and some of them came along with a ticket for like a 1 free admission to like a Regal movie theater thing. But I was like, who the fuck wants a singular ticket for the Regal movies? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Watch a movie by myself when I could watch that shit on Kiss Anime? Like, the fuck? No. Who the fuck cares? By the way, virtually every ticket won. It was just a matter of what prize you got. And then Shirley, the goat, right? She was so pissed. She was so mad because she only stayed this long because she was curious on what the raffle was, right? Because she said like they won like a mango card last year, which is like, I'm assuming like for some random restaurant dessert thing. When I saw Shirley come back and she came back holding a handful of Post-it notes, she was fucking I'm telling you, she was fuming. She was fucking mad. Like, but for context, Shirley is one of the greatest people ever. Like, she knows all the tea, she knows everything, but at the same time she's self-aware though. She's actually self-aware. She has really bad anger issues, like really bad. Like, it was to the point where I was scared of her when I first started working because she always got really angry. I think she got a lot better at controlling it, like, as seeing her. But I'm just saying, that moment I knew she was fucking pissed. She was mad. So at this point, right, we were all about to leave. Everyone was like in a bad mood. We were just sitting, like my table at least, and one person decided, well, I'm fucking leaving, I'm not having it. And you know, it trickled down, then the whole table left. And this is where it goes back to like what I said earlier, where like that's when Nika starts stressing and she was like panicking. And like and the fact is that Christian was not stressing, and that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like he's a fucking double agent and set us up because he knew he wasn't gonna get in trouble, but Nika was so worried that she was gonna get in trouble. Fucking Christian went out of his way to like text in the group chat like, oh, are y'all having a great time at this dinner? And then Shirley was not having it. Shirley literally said if you actually cared, you would come over to our table and ask us yourself instead of texting in this group chat.
Oh my god.
Yo,
what did he say?
He ignored it. Shirley was not having it. I'm just saying, Shirley was not having it. She was like, she was on like fucking the offense, okay? And then
That's a crazy thing to say to your supervisor.
Yo, she doesn't care. She knows she can't, like, you know. Yeah, and someone said, Christian, are we getting rage baited right now? Oh my god. Shirley also said 1 out of 10 experience. I'm still hungry.
Was it really that ass? Like, what did you guys get? Like, we usually get the Oh my god, you know the cream broccoli?
Yes, it was that. It was that. That was that. There was that. Literally fucking ass. There was like
Good.
there was a fried tofu. Everything was fried and oily like that. Like, you know, 2 people got a stomach ache. It's like, for me, I'm just saying ass because it was exactly as I expected. Like, it's like, what did I expect from fucking Chinese table food? Like, I don't like Chinese dining food.
Wait, so only like 2 people sang?
Yo, you know what happened? Like, everyone was like talking about like, oh, because this is right after we performed, right? And we were all like, oh my god, like, you know, putting those sad emojis. And in the middle of them like talking about it, I just put like, where's the food? I was like, where's the food? They were like, Paul's so disappointed at us, he didn't even take a picture. I was like, we sang so good, he said it's tier. And people were putting a bunch of emojis, and I just flat out said, where's the food? We were baited, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I sound so bad, like I put myself through this. I actually came in well knowing like what to prepare for, what was really happening, and why did I do it. Again, content to share, right? And as I kind of like a last hurrah, like, you know, with my coworkers, I guess, because other people were going. If they weren't going, I literally was not gonna go. I think my only regret is like not leaving earlier, I guess. Yeah, like not really leaving earlier, like, because if someone left, I would have left. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I care too much about other people because I didn't want Nika to stress out. But I will say, if I knew my site was gonna get harassed like that, like the way we got harassed, like with all the shit that was bullshit towards us, I would have fucking just dipped. I would have just dipped. I think one of my favorite highlights was definitely like when Eiler said like, let's all go to circle and shit talk Z, who has personal beef with him, and everyone, we all just rose our hands and we just went like shit talking him.
They're bullies.
Everyone got a beef with him because he's apparently snitched on everyone at least once.
Oh, he deserves